friends. Welcome back to Second Star to the Left. I'm Michelle, and this is my daughter Billy.
Hi.
And here's where we'll share board game reviews, ramblings, and a few wrong turns along the scenic route. Happy New Year!
Rolling into the new year.
No, not yet. It's officially 2023, and we are going to be...
Rolling into the new year.
There you go. We thought we would start off 2023 by spending a whole month talking about one of my favorite types of games. I don't know, is it one of your favorite types of games, or am I kind of, let's say, encouraging you?
Yes.
We have about 50, give or take, roll and writes sitting here on our shelves and our table that we've already played, except for, I think, just one, and one that has not arrived yet that I thought that we needed in order to do this month. That's a lot of roll and writes, and we didn't have to play extras to make this video. So I want to talk a little bit about what we have planned for this month. What exactly do we mean by roll and write? And the four that kind of got us started along this roll and write collecting path.
Four?
Four.
That looks like three.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Five.
4B. First of all, before we get started and everybody asks, we are going to use roll and write as a shorthand for any of the and write games. Roll and write, flip and write, draw and write.
Because I know you were all going to ask.
Everybody was going to ask or say, hey, that's not really a roll and write. We're just going to call them that because, honestly, I'm going to mess up and call them that. So we're just going to kind of declare that at the beginning of this month. Some of them are flip and write, some of them are roll and write, and one is actually a draw and write. In case you don't know or haven't ever played any of these, a roll and write is a game where...
You roll, and then you write.
Thank you. Well, I mean,
I'm very
basically, if you ever played Yahtzee as a kid, or Farkle,
Farkle.
Consider those, where you roll the dice and everyone shares that information to write down the ones they choose and progress along a path. You start out with the exact same information, and as you make different choices...
Different things happen.
Different things happen.
That's how that works.
This month, we are not going to be talking about all 50 of these games individually.
We're not?
No.
Chicken.
But we're going to break them up into groups of similar themes or styles, and then we'll have a couple of lists and maybe some friends stopping by to join us. So it should be a really fun month. I'm very excited that we get to play roll and writes all month. One of the reasons that I like them is that roll and writes, not everyone, but most of them, can be played solo or up to a pretty large number of players.
As long as you have enough pads to hand out.
As long as you have enough pads to hand out. Or you can make copies or print them out. So the other thing about that is that means they could be played virtually. If you can share the dice rolls and the information, then you can play with someone who's not there with you. They made it really great during the pandemic when everybody was being forced to play separately. We could play roll and writes together. One of the easiest things to play together virtually. For me, I like that they can be played solo, and they are some of the solo games I turn to the most, which is why you're going to see that I have played some of these a lot more times than Billy has.
Yes.
And these games range from simple little abstract games, kind of like Yahtzee, to one that takes, 2.5 hours to play. So there's a great range of differences. The other thing that gets roll and writes played around here, sometimes more than other games, is when we don't have a lot of spoons to play a game, they don't take a lot of setup. You hand someone a sheet and a pencil and you roll the dice or flip the cards. And that's kind of it.
That's not to say they're all simple, though.
No, they're not all simple games.
Some of them are still pretty spoons heavy.
Certainly you don't want to be playing some of my favorite, what Billy refers to as spreadsheet games.
Hadrian's Wall.
When you don't have a lot of spoons. But some of the lighter ones are just enough of a puzzle to keep you interested and just not overwhelm you. So they get played a lot here. Billy and I talked a little bit about our first 4 roll and writes that kind of got us hooked. And we still like all of them. We are still purchasing content for them when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would play any of these anytime someone asked me. The first roll and write that we purchased and played is Welcome to. So welcome to Roll and Writes. And this is the original, not Welcome to Las Vegas, on which I have thoughts, or Welcome to the Moon, which you will see later.
Would you like to share those thoughts you have about Welcome to Las Vegas?
I will mention, how's this? I will mention that we no longer have Welcome to Las Vegas. I have Welcome to the Moon and I really like it. Mm-hmm. But Welcome to, do you like that? Mm-hmm. I'll explain why later when I talk about some roll and writes that are no longer with us, because we have lost a few along the way that didn't work for us. But this one was our first one. We saw Shut Up and Sit Down do a video on this and immediately ordered it. The rules for this one are pretty straightforward. You have 3 stacks of cards and those stacks are double-sided. One side has the house number and one side has the effect that you get to activate when you use that set of cards. So you're going to choose one set of cards and you're going to write the house number on the house on that street. The thing is, you can't have the same number twice on a street, otherwise how would anyone get their deliveries of games? And you have to make sure that they go up in ascending order.
You can go from like 7 to 12.
Yes, you can skip numbers, but then you have to be betting that that number won't come up, that won't be the choice you have to make, because you don't want to get a card that you can't use. You don't want to look at that set of cards and see none that you can use, because then you have to circle a little stop sign and 3 of those, and that's it for you. There's also a set of objectives that you're trying to reach, like little estates that have 2 houses or 3 houses or 4 houses in them, and you create these by putting fences between the houses. The rule set themselves is fairly simple, but there's a lot of luck. If you don't like luck, probably roll and writes aren't going to be for you.
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part. There's a lot of luck. But they're quick, and there is strategy to help you kind of mitigate the luck a little bit. You can look at the odds.
Don't tell me the odds.
Nope, too late. You missed it. The purpose of Welcome To is to build the best housing estate you can. I love the little, 1950s artwork that's on this. And we really love this so much that all of the content that we have for this no longer fits in the box. So this is stacked full of pads. And then we laminated some sheets.
Like the Halloween one.
Yeah, we have the Halloween one. We have the spring one. We have the winter one. We have the Doomsday one. We have the summer one. We have all of the special packs and all of the laminated sheets that went with it. And it doesn't quite fit back in the box anymore.
I don't think we've played the Doomsday one yet. Or at least I haven't.
Oh, no, we played it a very long time ago.
No, because we got it right before the pandemic and it seemed less fun then.
I played the Doomsday one.
It seemed a little less fun when everyone was bunkering down in their own homes.
There are versions of this for solo. One was the original version, and then there were some different versions as the packs came out so that you could play solo. I like it solo. I like it much better with other people. This is one that I like better with other people. It also plays great on BGA, and I will never turn down an invitation to play Welcome To on BGA. Go ahead, try me, I'll play. In fact, I almost always have a game of it going on. So that was Welcome To, which was kind of our welcome to the roll and writes. I'm just going to keep making that joke. The next roll and write that we got is a tiny little box of trains and roads called Railroad Ink. But it's
I get it.
But it's a K like the pen.
It's a K like in the word pen.
No, it's a K like INK like ink
like,
from
that's
a pen,
how you spell
not
pen.
ink like incorporated.
No, but that's the joke.
No. When Railroad Ink first came out, you got to choose between deep blue and blazing red.
Like Pokemon.
Like Pokemon. Deep blue sounded much more chill to me. Blazing red sounded very
This one has like rivers, and that one has volcanoes and meteors.
Right, so we went with the rivers and lakes.
And they're both fun vibes, but I think this is more our speed.
Definitely more our speed. The base of both games is exactly the same, just a different color. And then there are 2 extra dice included that are kind of this mini expansion. And I'll talk a little bit about expansions in a minute.
Kind of like how Pokemon Red and Blue are the same game, but with a few extra different Pokemon.
Oh, okay. In the base game, you roll 4 dice, and these dice have either roads or rails on them in different configurations, so straight or corners or intersections, and you are going to try and connect the stations that are outside of this little grid to form pathways, the longest ones you can, the ones that connect to the most stations, and you score a little bit extra for getting them right in the center because you had to be brave enough to go out in the middle and not know if you were going to get enough pieces to get you all the way across to another station. I love this game, and again, this is one that I play constantly on BGA. If somebody says, hey, do you want to play something? It's likely I'm going to suggest this game. And after a while of playing Red and Blue and their expansions, they came out with Lush Green and Shining Yellow.
Again, just like Pokemon.
And
those are still the Pokemon colors.
There are no Pokemon in this box.
There are if you believe they are. It's abstract enough. You could picture little Pokemon on the train.
Railroad Ink Challenge gave you a few more objectives in the base game, although you could still play it exactly the same way as Red and Blue. It also gave you some new expansions. The green one gave us forests and trails, and then they came out with other expansions, and they were tiny little 2-dice sets that you could add to your game.
I think we have all of them, or almost all of them.
I'm gonna try and hold this up without them falling so that you can see.
That. They're all coming out.
Look at all of those. Each set of those are
each
a tiny
set of different
little
colored.
Yeah, each set of or 2 of the same color are a tiny little expansion that you can play with that changes the rules or breaks the rules or adds another objective.
Some are more than 2.
I put all of the expansions into this one box so that we could have them all wherever we went. And then if we want to just play the base game or show it to someone new, we bring the blue one. I'm looking forward to having all of the versions of this on BGA because, again, this is a great game to play with people if you just want to hang out and video chat and play a quick little puzzle. Mm-hmm. This one works really well, and it's really quick. It says 30 minutes, but I mean, either it doesn't feel like that or it doesn't take that much time. Also, you should know that I play games like this like there's a chess stop clock near me without much thought for consequence. I just fill in the blanks. But I do play it a lot, so I have a pretty good idea of how to do it. I can beat you.
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes. Again, if you want to play Railroad Ink. on BGA, send me a message. I'm happy to play. This one sticks around. I play it a lot solo because this one is just roll the dice and fill in the chart. There's no extra steps to play it solo because when you're playing together, it's pretty much multiplayer solitaire. There's no real interaction, which is quite fine for me. The next one that we got, I actually got about a year before because I was buying a copy of Welcome to, I think maybe I was buying expansions at that point to Welcome to, at a convention.
Yeah, you were buying like the Halloween one and the winter one.
Yep. I was buying them at a convention, and in that package, they asked me if I wanted to try out their new Roll and Write, and they gave me a sample sheet and some instructions. It didn't have all the objective cards, but it did have the basic game. So I got it. I played it over and over and over. I made copies of it so that I could keep playing it because they only gave me one sheet. Mm-hmm. And that is Floor Plan, where you are designing a house for someone who is crazy enough to hire you.
Never hire us to be architects. You'll wind up with like a bathroom in the middle of 4 kitchens.
Sometimes that happens. I like when you have kitchen, hallway, closet, hallway, tree. It's very good.
I like trying to recreate the floor plans we make in like The Sims.
In this game, you are designing a house and you are trying to meet the demands of 3 interior designers. Okay, that's fine. That's what happens when you design a house. But I'm pretty sure that when you design a real house, you're not supposed to roll dice to figure out if you're going to design a bathroom or a closet or a living room. And some of your objectives are like make a pool that has trees surrounding it, or make a window with a lovely view. And some of them are like have 4 pieces of furniture in a room, even if it's the bathroom. No. No. The board is actually just a simple piece of graph paper, and you get some little powers that you can unlock along the bottom, and all the directions that you need to play are right here on the side. This
you
is actually
this one.
I did. I laminated a couple of them so we could just bring them places and play. Nerd. I laminate a lot of our roll and writes so that we don't have to use so much paper. We could just keep using them. This one actually says it plays 1 to 100. So
we have not tested that. But...
No, but I have played it online with like large groups of people. I have played it for like, especially during the pandemic, at virtual conventions where a whole bunch of people were playing.
Shucks did it, right?
Yeah, so it's super fun. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this one. I'm really excited because they're doing the Winchester Mystery House version of this one. So your crazy designs might seem more in keeping with an actual house. And that one's going to be 2 floors. So the top floor will be a piece of acetate over the...
It's just a bunch of crazy pointless like hallways to nothing and stairs that go nowhere.
So just like the houses we design. So that one, I actually got a notification that one shipped. If it gets here before this is over, I will definitely include it because I've been waiting very anxiously to get my hands on that one. But again, this is one that I'll play all the time. This is one that I really like to play solo because you're just designing a little house and trying to meet a few objectives. Super fun. If you haven't heard of it and you like roll and writes, you might want to give it a try. It's one of our first 4 roll and writes, and we still play it all the time. The last one, and what I'm going to call our core 4, that's good, right?
Is it?
No, but we're going to stick with it.
I like it.
Isn't in its original box anymore. And that's because we long ago expanded it to have this giant collector's edition of Cartographers.
Because we have a problem.
No, because this is an amazing game. This box is so overpacked that I'm kind of afraid to let go of the sides or it might just explode open. The point is that the original version was and is one of our favorites. And even though that version only had I think it had 2 maps, one on each side of the paper, we still never got tired of it. The replayability was never an issue. But then again, having new maps and characters and powers is also
always
fun. So in Cartographers, you are a royal cartographer expanding the lands and mapping them out for the kingdom. You're also actually competing with the people next to you. And unlike other roll and writes, in this one, there is interaction. This one is a flip and write, and you're flipping over cards that have a color and a shape. And you usually get to choose between 2 things. Maybe it's a forest, maybe you want to draw a field, and you're getting to make that choice as long as you're drawing the shape that's shown on the card onto your map. You get points for surrounding certain things, you get points for meeting the objectives that show up in each season, and there are 4 seasons. In the first season, you get to shoot for objectives A and B. In the second season, B and C. In the third, C and D. Fourth, D and A. You get it. The thing is, that lets you plan a little bit in advance, but like any roll and write or flip and write, there's a lot of random chance in here. You're pushing your luck to hope you get what you need by choosing one thing over another. The interaction comes up when sometimes you flip a card and there's a goblin in it.
Scary, scary monster.
It is a scary, scary monster, but you don't draw the scary, scary monster onto your map that causes all that trouble. Instead, you pass your map to the player to the side of you, left or right, depending.
Left or right.
No, it depends on the card. Sometimes it goes left, sometimes it goes right. So
I thought you just forgot.
You pass it to the side, and the loving person sitting next to you draws it in the worst place possible for you to meet all your objectives. And when they pass it back, at the end of the rounds, you get penalized if you have not completely surrounded that monster. You're going to lose a point for every square that's still exposed of the monster. So now, instead of working on your objectives, you're working on battling a goblin. And of course, the person next to you put it in just the sweetest spot for you. This one is a little trickier to play online, but we have done it and it does work. I've played it with Aunt Sandra, and you can you can figure out how to draw the goblins. Kind of hold up the thing and they'll tell you where to put the goblins, because you don't want to do it yourself because you would never put it anywhere bad. And then you would help yourself cheat to win. The expansions provided heroes that had variable player powers. They provided different maps with different challenges to overcome. There's lots and lots and lots to unpack in this box. But the little box, the base box, has plenty of game in there to play. You don't have to have this giant one, although it's super fun. You can just have the base game and have a really good time making maps and, throwing goblins at your friends. So that's our core 4, and we have plenty more to go through. I put some of them up on the shelves. See? Up on the shelves. Mm. We're super excited about getting to share with you lots of our favorite roll and writes. We're definitely not going to be able to get to every roll and write out there because that's thousands of them. But maybe you're going to hear some new ones that you haven't ever heard of yet. So we're hoping to just share our enthusiasm for roll and writes with everyone out there. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see,
or if you'd like to keep watching until we get one right,
could be a while, then please like, subscribe, and share. As always, open tables, open minds, and play yourselves.
Bye. I forgot to turn off my phone today. Shut up. Is your phone off, or did you just get lucky so far?
No. I just want to say that we're going to use roll and write as a shortcut for roll and write, flip and write, draw and write. Yeah.
What, shorthand?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. As if we don't have all of that.
What? That wasn't a sentence.
What? Is that running?
Is what running?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I just had this complete panic attack that we didn't. It is too. Just had this complete panic attack that we did not turn on sound. That would have been unfortunate.
Yeah, if sound wasn't going this whole time, we'd just go back downstairs.
Sound. Let's just call it a day. We rolled, we missed.
4 toilets for competitive pooping.
I am not leaving. No. No.
I don't think that's a word.
It's a word. Comberific is a word. Look it up. But look it up down there because
down where?
In the comments, because then that's a
What? Dingus.